Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. My name is Niall and today we've got a slightly different video compared to the last couple of uploads on the channel. As you guys know, we like to look at all areas of hi-fi, all levels of hi-fi here, and the last couple of uploads have been kind of really high-end, mid-high-end products that we've been looking at, so we thought we'd bring it down a little bit and focus on something that's a little bit more entry to mid-level but offers fantastic performance at its price point. That is the Mission QX3 speakers. Before we do get stuck into those though, I do want to say a massive thank you again for the support on the recent uploads. ATC versus ProRock a couple of weeks ago did fantastically well, and again the support on the musical fidelity upload last week was absolutely sensational. So again, if you do enjoy this upload, make sure to leave a thumbs up, leave your feedback in the comment sections down below, and again, really appreciate the support you guys are giving the channel. Some of you may be familiar with the LX range that Mission offer. The QX range is essentially the range above that and is laid out in a very similar way. You've kind of got the QX1 that is a bookshelf option, and it goes all the way up to the QX6s, which is the top level floor standard within the range. The QX3 of course falling right in the middle of that. So the Mission QX3 floor standards are a speaker that are almost a bit of a sleeper hit in my opinion. They've always been really popular on the market in what is a really competitive price point. I've said it before on previous uploads. Anything that's kind of £1,000 and under, £500 to £1,000 is always a super competitive price point when it comes to speakers, whether it be bookshelves or floor standers. The QX3s are currently retailing for around £639. These prices are based on Audiophile, which makes them a really good speaker at that price point, and something that I think is potentially very difficult to beat. We're going to look at the design of the speakers today, whether it's the aesthetics, the performance, what you can expect out of them, and exactly why it is that they're so popular. Starting off with the aesthetics of the QX3s, I actually quite like them, to be honest with you. I think they're quite a modern, contemporary kind of design, really sleek, quite a small footprint for a floor stander. Worth mentioning that when you pick these speakers up, they do come with like a mini isolation pack that's included with them, so you get some spike shoes, some floor protectors, that kind of stuff, which is really handy. But the design of the speakers themselves is, yeah, very modern. They come in 3 finishes. They come in white, black and walnut, which is pretty standard for a lot of manufacturers. They tend to do a black or white and then a wooden finish of some sort. We've got the white ones that we've been listening to today. I've got to say they've got the black lid or top of the speaker, whatever you want to call it, which that black lid is there on every single finish. So whether it be white, black or walnut, they've all got the black top, and I'm not a super big fan of that. I think really it'd be nice if it just continued the same theme all the way around, so white having white on top, walnut having walnut on top. But I don't hate the design. I think the white one's kind of got this stormtrooper sort of aesthetic, which I'm not against. It's a bit different, but not a bad thing. The QX3s have got a 2-way bass reflex design. You can see the 2 bass drivers on the front. There is a slight twist on that kind of classic template though, where they've got the tweeter in between the 2 bass drivers, which is quite unique to the QX3s, and we'll talk a little bit more about what that brings to the table later in the video. Because there is so much choice in that kind of £500 to £1,000 marketplace with speakers, I think for a lot of people, when you're looking at what to go for, it's kind of what can these speakers bring to me that's different to other options. I mean, around a similar kind of price point, you've got things like the Wolfdale 12.4s, the Diamonds, you've got things like the Focal Cora 826s, the Q Acoustics 3050Is, which are all fantastically popular and well-reviewed speakers in their own right. So the question is, what do the QX3s bring to the table that make them stand out from these other options? When it comes to the sound of the QX3s, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago in the video where we looked at the D20Rs and the ATC SCM40s. They've got this kind of British, really desirable sound that a lot of people really enjoy. And obviously, it kind of goes without saying that the QX3s aren't operating on the same level as something like a D20R or an SCM40, but they do still have that lovely British sound to them. They have this really punchy but yet still controlled low end, combined with a kind of articulate mid-range and some really nice smooth vocals that produce this really wonderful, well-rounded sound. And on top of that, the staging on them is absolutely phenomenal. I should mention before we do talk about the staging, actually, what we listened to the QX3s alongside, we used a couple of different amplifiers as well. One amplifier being the Mission 778. It seemed an obvious combination, Mission speakers, Mission amplifiers, and that was an absolutely wonderful pairing. But then we also also tried it with the Yamaha RN2000 receiver, a unit that you guys will know we use a lot on this channel. A really great receiver, simple to connect to, and again, paired flawlessly with the QX3s. When it comes to the staging of the QX3s, I actually think this is where they kind of stand out compared to a lot of other models at the same kind of price point, because the presentation on them is absolutely huge. The sound's as wide as it is tall, and I think a big part of that is that centrally placed tweeter that we touched upon earlier in the video. It's you feel like you're being engulfed in the music when you're sitting there listening to it. You've got some incredible separation, and it's just it's something that a lot of floor standards don't offer. Never mind at this price point, but price points above it as well. It's a huge sound that the QX3s bring to the table. Another really nice feature actually with the QX3s is that they're not a particularly greedy speaker when it comes to power required. The recommended amp power is between 20 to 120 watts, which again, it means that they're not difficult to drive and also gives you a lot of options in the market for what you want to partner them up with. I think to summarise, you've got to say what the QX3s bring to the table is incredible, considering that a lot of people would class these as an entry-level floor-standing speaker. I mean, for £639, you're getting this wonderful quintessential British, smooth, detailed sound combined with a massive presentation, and the fact that they're really easy to drive and you get a lot of flexibility with pairing as well only adds to what is an incredible package. But if you have had a chance to listen to these, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below, as well as any feedback. Anything you'd like to see us get on the channel in the future in terms of reviewing or looking at for you as well, and we'll always do our best on that front. Next week's video is actually going to be looking at another floor standing speaker, but it's going to be the most expensive floor standing speaker that we've ever looked at on the channel, so make sure you tune in for that one next week. But again, thank you guys for the fantastic support on the channel. I hope you will enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you all there.